with passing of every day, it becomes more and more clear that this war, which was started under the name of fighting against terrorism, bringing women's rights or bringing democracy to Afghanistan, was only to achieve the strategic and the geopolitical interest that the United States and other Western governments had in Afghanistan. And that's why even the Taliban were removed from the government. But those forces, even worse than Taliban, the same religious fundamentalist and reactionary groups came to the government with the support, with the backing of the Western governments and NATO troops in Afghanistan. And that's why the suffering of people, the problem of Afghanistan continued as the same as it was before. And under the 9 years of occupation, the Afghan people in all parts of Afghanistan, in all villages, all provinces, were victims of the everyday airstrikes, the continuous raids that's taking place every day. And it takes a large number of civilian casualties, again including women, men and children. But beside this, of course, the security remains the main problem for absolute majority of people. Women are not safe. They are still under their burqas. They are keeping covered their faces. There are a lot of cases of violence against women. There are cases of raping of women, kidnapping, attack on women's school, attack on female teachers and students. And these are all because still the warlords, the military commanders such as Northern Alliance groups are in power. And on the other side, we see that beside the security problem, Afghanistan has turned to be the second largest country for being corrupt, with millions of dollars coming to Afghanistan didn't change anything for the positive. Billions of dollars have been gone to the pocket of the high-rank officials of the government or to the warlords and drug smugglers, and it didn't belong to our people. We also have seen that in the past 9 years, Afghanistan is producing the largest amount of drugs and opium around the world. In a lot of other shocking news of abusing rights of people. I mean, there's no sign of democracy, there's no sign of freedom of speech. There are still ethnical issues existing in Afghanistan, besides a lot of social and economic problems that Afghan people are facing in their everyday life. I mean, any Afghan man or woman cannot be safe of her or his survival in everyday life. Well, first of all, I should mention that these criminals who are now in the government of Afghanistan and those terrorists who are now under the name of Taliban, in Taliban's movement, they're all the creatures of the United States and the Western governments themselves. They were all created, they were all given a lot of military and financial and political support during the Soviet resistance war, especially by the CIA. And that's why we believe that what happened after September 11, as I said before, it was only a goal of the United States to have military presence in Afghanistan. And that's why we believe that the action, the military occupation of Afghanistan that's taking place now is also part of the agenda of the United States government. And they need a justification, they need a reason for this military presence. And it's simply the Taliban, the terrorism, and the insurgency that are claiming about. We believe that at the moment, the best and the only solution for the Afghan crisis is the withdrawal of all foreign troops, which includes the US troops, which includes the NATO governments and countries that are making NATO troops too. And beside this, to reduce the power of the fundamentalist warlords, it's very important that their leaders, their criminals who are abusing and have abused in the last 3 decades of war the rights of people, and they have killed thousands of people, they must be brought to an international court for justice. And again, for this, we need the international community support too. We need the support of the justice-loving people, freedom-loving people around the world. Besides this, this is also the third and important step is that the neighboring countries, especially such as Iran and Pakistan, these two regimes always had a very negative role interfering in Afghanistan, meddling in Afghanistan, and supporting the fundamentalist groups in Afghanistan. Any kind of interfere in their contacts, in their puppets, must be removed from the political scene of Afghanistan, and this contacts must be stopped. This is the only solution which gives an opportunity, which gives a possibility for the democratic-minded people, for the freedom of speech, for the lot of groups, individuals, and movements to once again start their work, start saying to people that they are standing by them and they are wanting to work for democracy, for independence, and for social justice in Afghanistan. From the very beginning, that RAWA started working in '77 as the only political and social feminist group in Afghanistan. We always faced problems, security problems, that the founding leader of RAWA was assassinated, Mina was assassinated in Pakistan, and later our members always have been followed and they were forced to change their names, their identities, not to show their faces, always have the burqa or cover the faces, not to be recognized. And even in our projects, in our humanitarian work, we have not been able to use the title or name of RAWA, and several other security measures that we always have to take. And this continued from the first days that RAWA started working. But what the international community believes that with the presence of the United States, everything has changed and women have got freedom. There is political rights for people in organizations like RAWA, but they are absolutely not the reality. On the ground, we see that organizations like RAWA still are not able to work freely and peacefully. Still, we are not able to have any office. Even when we are selling our publications, our members, our activists have been threatened not to sell it. We are not able to run our projects that are schools and orphanages and other centers for women openly to work in different provinces of Afghanistan. And these are all, of course, brings a lot of security problems for us. It's not only RAWA, but any voice, any resistance movement against the warlords, against the occupation, against the Taliban, and against the Karzai administration is not possible for them to survive or easily continue their work.